So who was your team's Wonderkid from FIFA 10 and where are they now? Let's take a look. Guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Really enjoyed putting this one together. Today we're going to be going back all the way to FIFA 10, picking out the player who had the highest potential then and seeing if they lived up to the hype. As always, if you do go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Also check out the Patreon, link to that is down below. Got some really cool videos coming out on there. The other day we uploaded my reaction to the top 50 championship goals of the decade, which was an interesting one. But without any further ado, let's jump into this one. Barnsley, Adam Hamel, 85 potential. Now Adam Hamel was a really interesting player from back in the day. I myself always wanted Preston to go ahead and sign him. He had a loan spell out to Blackpool in and around 2008 and scored an absolute worldie against Preston, but albeit never quite lived up to the hype of being an 85 rated player, but nonetheless had some big moments for Barnsley in the few spells he had at the club. You know, that goal in the playoff final will long go down in the memories of Barnsley fans. Bournemouth, Brett Pitman, 71 potential. Now I think it's fair to say that he lived up to the hype. His goals were crucial for Bournemouth getting promoted out of League 2 into League 1, and throughout his career has been a solid goal scorer at both Championship and League 1 level. However, what I found most interesting was around this time Bournemouth had Danny Ings in their squad and he had a grand potential of 48, that's it. Birmingham, Seb Larsson, 83 potential. Now this season for Birmingham especially, it's easy to understand why he was rated so highly. He scored some absolute worldies for Birmingham, none more so than that incredible goal against Tottenham. He then made his move over to Sunderland, where in a pretty uninspiring Sunderland squad during that era, Seb Larsson was always one of the highlights who I'd watch out for, you know, always had a great free kick in his locker. The highest he was ever rated on FIFA was only 79, so he just fell a little bit short of that potential, but great player nonetheless. Blackburn Rovers, Junior Hoyler, 81 potential. Similar to Seb Larsson really, came close to matching that potential. His highest ever rated card on FIFA was 77 rated, but yeah, had some great times throughout the years. Actually only played for 3 permanent clubs, so he played for Blackburn, then he's made his move over to QPR and now obviously plays for Cardiff in the Championship. But yeah, during that time has been a key component of those sides and he has won multiple promotions to the Premier League. Brentford, Tumani Diagaraga, 73 potential. He came fairly close to reaching this potential. His highest ever rated card on FIFA was 69 rated. He spent 7 seasons in total with Brentford, including their first 2 back up to the Championship. He's now playing his football in League 2 for Morecambe. Bristol City, Tristan Plummer, 80 potential. Now back in the day he was being linked with the likes of Arsenal and some other Premier League moves as a bright prospect coming through the Bristol City ranks. However, his career trajectory hasn't quite lived up to that hype since leaving Bristol City. He's played for the likes of Weston-super-Mare, Aldershot Town, Hereford, and now finds himself playing for Bitton. Cardiff City, Adam Matthews, 82 potential. Now he's played for some quite decent clubs throughout his career after coming through the Cardiff ranks as a teenager. He's played for the likes of Celtic, Sunderland, Bristol City and now finds himself playing for Charlton. His highest ever rated card on FIFA was just a 74 rated though, so he fell short of that potential. Coventry City, Aaron Gunnarsson, 80 potential. It's mad looking at him so young in that picture, but despite him never reaching the lofty heights of an 80 rated FIFA card, he has had several iconic moments throughout his career. Spent the best half of the decade playing his football at Cardiff. He's been part of that iconic Iceland team and now plays his football out in Qatar. Derby County, Steve Davis, 76 potential. Another one that didn't quite live up to those lofty heights. Did have a couple of decent seasons in the Championship throughout his career for the likes of Derby and Bristol City. He's most recently played his football in Scotland for Hamilton Academical, but now finds himself as a free agent. Huddersfield Town, Alex Smithies, 84 potential. Another player who didn't quite live up to those lofty heights. His highest ever rated card on FIFA was 73 rated, but nonetheless, at Championship level especially, he has been a wonderful keeper over the years. You know, he's brilliant for Huddersfield in winning them promotion in the end. For QPR, he was a brilliant shot stopper and now finds himself at Cardiff where he's battling it out with Dylan Phillips at the moment to be their number 1. Now Luton weren't actually on FIFA 10, so for Luton we're going back to FIFA 15 and it's Pele Ruddokin-Panzu still at Luton and he's actually surpassed his potential on the latest FIFA. He's now rated 68 in the game, so he's got 1 more than his FIFA 15 potential. Middlesbrough, Marvin Emnes, 84 potential. Now Marvin Emnes was one of those players who, as an opposition fan growing up, I couldn't help but love. He was such an iconic player, wasn't he? After his move from Middlesbrough, he went to Swansea. Never quite lived up to the 84 potential. His highest ever FIFA rated card was 71, and he now plays his football for Ravenna in the Italian 3rd League. Millwall, Liam Trotter, 76 potential. Now he never quite managed to achieve that on FIFA with his highest rated card being just 70 rated, but nonetheless a good player, especially for Millwall back in the day, where I think he was a little bit more adventurous then. He regularly scored like 8 or 7 goals a season from midfield. Obviously after that then made his moved over to Bolton, now plays in the National League for Bromley. Norwich City, Chris Martin, 85 potential. That would have had him as one of the most sought after strikers in world football at the moment. Didn't quite live up to that potential, but nonetheless has been a terrific championship goal scorer throughout his career, obviously. Nowadays playing his football for Bristol City, but from his time at Derby especially, is there an argument for him maybe being like one of the most underrated championship strikers? Maybe. Nottingham Forest, Lewis McGugan, 82 potential. Now he is one player who I think it's fair to say never lived up to what he could have potentially been, because in terms of like natural ability for a player back then for Forest, he was absolutely unbelievable. Like everyone had the feeling that this guy will go on to play in the Premier League and leave a real impact there, but it just never happened for him. He never played above championship level. But I mean, some of the goals he scored for Nottingham Forest, that free kick against Ipswich, we reacted to that on the Patreon the other day, and it's just absolutely outrageous. He scored a brilliant goal for Sheffield Wednesday against Preston as well, where he like chipped Jordan Pickford from the halfway line. I can see why he did have such a high potential from back then, but yeah, just never quite managed to step up to that next level. He's most recently played for Northampton Town in League One. Preston North End, Andy Lonergan, 80 potential. Now he may never have reached those sort of individual heights, getting an 80 rated FIFA card. However, I mean, he was brilliant for Preston back in the day, by the way, and has had several moves to some really good clubs. You know, he's played for the likes of Leeds, Wolves, Fulham. But if we look at his individual awards, he's won the Premier League, he's won the FIFA Club World Cup and the UEFA Super Cup, all with Liverpool, albeit he might not have actually ever played for them, but that doesn't matter. He's now with West Brom in the Premier League as one of their backup goalkeepers. QPR Adel Taarabt, 84 potential. This one won't come as much of a surprise. You know, we've been having a bit of the debate lately about who's the best ever player to play in the Championship. I think Taarabt still holds that crown really for like the best individual season. But there was always the feeling that he had like another level to go to, and that never quite happened for him, did it? He is doing well for himself at the moment though. He's playing as more sort of a holding midfielder these days for Benfica. Reading, Hal Robson-Kanu, 78 potential. His highest ever FIFA rated card is actually on FIFA 21 at the moment. That's 70 rated, so 8 ratings short of that potential at the moment. But I think he's lived up to that hype sheerly for that goal he scored for Wales against Belgium with the Cruyff turn. Outrageous stuff. Rotherham United, Adam Lafondra, 73 potential. He's another one, even as like an opposition fan, he's always been a player who I've really liked. I think, you know, popped up with God knows how many late goals it was for Reading as that sort of super sub. He was brilliant for Bolton as well, and he is someone who lived up to his exact potential. His highest ever rated FIFA card was 73 rated, so he's got that spot on. Sheffield Wednesday, Etienne Essagias, 84 potential. I mean, Christ, when Wednesday signed this guy, they must have thought they had the reincarnation of Ronaldo or something. He would score some absolute worldies for them. He scored this unbelievable free kick against Sheffield United, but things ultimately didn't quite work out towards the end of the move. He cost them 3.5 million, which back in around, you know, 2007 or so when he signed for them was quite a bit of money. Ultimately though, his highest ever rated card on FIFA was just the 67 rated, and judging by the teams he played for after leaving Wednesday, didn't exactly live up to the hype. He played for the likes of Helmford Sports, Swindon, Scunthorpe United, and most recently played for Dayton Dutch Lions in 2015. Stoke City, Asmir Begovic, 83 potential, and he is one of the few players on this list who has exactly matched his FIFA 10 potential. His highest rated card on any FIFA is exactly 83, spot on the money, and just has been a great keeper throughout the years, of course. From his time at Stoke, then his move to Chelsea, and then his move to Bournemouth, where he did fall off for a little bit of time, but this season I think has really re-established himself. Only Tim Krul has a higher save percentage than he does in the Championship this season. Swansea City, Joe Allen, 82 potential. Now on FIFA itself, he just fell a little bit shy of that potential. His highest ever rated FIFA card is 78, but Joe Allen has been a great player throughout the years. He very much sort of like defined an era of Swansea where it was all about keeping the ball. Obviously crucial in their promotion to the Premier League. Then he got his move over to Liverpool and has since been playing his football at Stoke. Watford, Scott Loach, 80 potential. Now the goalkeeper probably had his best years at Watford actually. He spent 6 years at the club. After leaving Watford in 2012, he made his move over to Ipswich and then Rotherham, and then since has sort of bounced all over the Football League really. He now plays his football for Barnet in the National League with his highest ever rated FIFA card being 72. And finally with Wycombe, Matt Phillips, 67 potential. We're ending on one player who's absolutely smashed that potential. His highest ever rated card on FIFA has been 77 rated, so 10 ratings higher than his FIFA 10 potential. To be honest, I think that Matt Phillips has done really well wherever he's gone, to be honest with you. After leaving Wycombe, he went to Blackpool where he was excellent. You know, him and Tom Hinton, the winger around that time. At QPR was fantastic, and of course these days for West Brom is playing his football in the Premier League. But guys, there we have it. That will now wrap it up for today's video. So if you're going to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Get your thoughts on what you remember of these players from when they did play for your club down in the comments down below. Make sure to stick around and subscribe subscribe for some regular championship content. Check out the Patreon link, that is down below. But apart from that, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.